Next on the list, I'm going to help you because you're a daredevil and you like danger. Well, Darby Allin, there's nothing you could do that's more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk. Except wrestling CM Punk in Chicago. I will see you, and I'll see Sting, and I'll see all of you September 5th at All Out. Live on pay-per-view.
CM Punk is in AEW.
I'm back.
What's going on, everybody? Well, we have made it, Dasha.
We have indeed.
Feedback.
You guys been having a great time all weekend.
So the time is now, it is now officially time for the all-out press conference. And we've got some very special guests, and we have some very special people to moderate this press conference.
That's right.
So why don't we bring them on up?
Let's do it.
First and foremost, he is the voice of Rampage, one of the voices of Dynamite, and quite possibly one of the most intelligent and witty individuals that I personally know. Give it up for Excalibur!
We are Pencil Army as well. But also, Excalibur's not alone. Please help me welcome the world's strongest man, Mark Henry!
Well, thank you guys for coming to FanFest. Thank you guys to come in to Chicago for All Out Weekend. And we're going to cap off FanFest with some very special guests. First, she came here all the way from Southampton, England. Let's bring up Jamie Hayter. Wherever. And we can't bring up Jamie Hayter without bringing the AEW Women's World Champion, Dr. Britt Baker.
What up, what up?
She's fancy.
And we'll also be speaking with the man that will challenge Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship tomorrow night, Christian Cage. And last but not least, he will face CM Punk tomorrow night on pay-per-view, Darby Allin.
Well, we should get this thing rolling. I don't know if he had a proper introduction, but man, this guy, the show would not go on if it was not for him. Let's just give Big Excalibur a round of applause. The man has been a mentor. He's helped me out as much as anybody has helped me out since I've been here, and I appreciate that. Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
All right, let's get to business.
Well, my first question is actually for Christian Cage. You are no stranger to World Championship matches. What do you do? How do you prepare for it? What's your mentality going into tomorrow night and All Out?
I don't overthink it, you know? I mean, it's going to be what it's going to be. I've been in this position many times, so it's, you know, there's no nerves. I just go out there and do my thing, and I'm going to walk out the AEW World Champion. Easy.
Easy, lemon peasy.
Well, we saw on Rampage that you can beat Kenny Omega. How different is your game plan going into tomorrow, or do you just play it by ear?
Yeah, I mean, there's a saying, right? Everybody's got a plan until you get hit. So you got to be able to make adjustments and when things happen, when things go awry, as they always do. But like I said before, there's always that one guy that's got your number, and for Kenny Omega, I'm that guy.
Christian, what about all of the people around? I mean, he's got Don Callis, he's got guys that are there just to try to throw a monkey wrench in your plan. Like, how are you going to deal with those guys?
I mean, just be aware that it could happen at any moment, right? You just got to have eyes in the back of my head. I mean, Don Callis, look at him. Like, I mean, yeah, exactly. He's a carny piece. We got kids here, so can I say it anyway? All right, he is a carny piece of shit. So.
This next question is actually for Jamie Hayter. Jamie, you were part of AEW in the very beginning, in 2019. Then the pandemic slowed everything down. What's your experience been like coming back to AEW? How have things changed?
Things have changed a lot since the first time I was at AEW. Obviously, the women's roster is a lot larger. There's different people here. I don't really know anyone except DMD, my friend. And yeah, I think it's a lot more competitive now, the division for the women in AEW. And I'm glad to be a part of it and to bring these girls up to my level. See if they can go with me. I don't think they can, but I'm going to see if they can.
Jamie, what I'm going to ask you has nothing to do with pro wrestling.
Yeah.
As you know, I like food.
Me too.
Have you had a proper Devonshire tea since you've been back?
No, I haven't. And I'm really sad about it. I need good tea.
And I don't know if y'all familiar with Devonshire teas. It's like strawberry preserves and the best jelly that you ever had.
So good.
On biscuits.
The best.
With real cream on them. I mean, it's ridiculous. I know I'm getting off task, but that's my job.
I can see your eyes.
Guys.
You're all hungry for some
It's
Devonshire
passion.
tea.
It's passion.
It's beautiful. It's the best. I'm going to have to find one somewhere in Chicago and get one.
And I noticed that you came back and you look stronger than you did before you left.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is your secret?
The pandemic kind of put a hold on everything. I literally had nothing better to do but work out and eat healthy. And that's all I did. Just worked out 2 times a day, ate really clean, and that's about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, this has been another episode of the AEW Food Podcast.
Yeah.
Jamie, actually, I wanted to ask you about your relationship with Britt. I know you guys faced very early on in AEW, but it actually predates that.
It does. Me and Britt actually met in the UK the first time. It was 2019 at the beginning of the year, I think, maybe March, something like that. And we actually wrestled on my turf back home at Eve, and we had a match, and then just from that moment, we clicked. And we just knew we were going to be best friends for a very long time, very close. We kept in contact. We've always been very close since then.
Very cool. And Britt, you are the AEW Women's World Champion. How are you feeling going into All Out tomorrow and defending your title against Chris Statlander?
How do you think I'm feeling? I'm here in Britago defending my title against Chris Statlander, who is arguably the second most powerful female in the whole roster. The first one sitting next to me. This is going to be a challenge. I know that. I'm not dumb. I'm a dentist. But she is not the DMD.
No. That's it.
Do you think, what's your game plan going into tomorrow? Are you going to use Jamie? Are you going to use Rebel? Or are you going to just try to out-wrestle Statlander?
I don't like that question. I don't use anyone. I have friends by my side that always have my back, period. That's how I would phrase it.
Yeah.
But will your friends and your people by your side, will they initiate any disturbance if you're in any kind of trouble?
What are you trying to say? Say what you want to say.
No, I'm just
Say what you wanna
asking.
say.
I just asked.
Do you think that we're going to do shenanigans?
You ever heard the term "don't kill the messenger"?
My girls will be ringside with me. I invite her to have her boys ringside with her.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not concerned. And
All
she
right, I don't
shouldn't
want no
be either.
static. I'm a fan. Shut up. I didn't ask your opinion. Grown folks talking.
One last
I
question.
got the microphone. I'll roast you over here. I'll do a 20-minute stand-up. You'll think David Chappelle was up here.
One more question for Britt. Say you are successful tomorrow night and defend the title against Chris Statlander. Who do you want to face next?
I mean, ideally, Jamie would win the Casino Battle Royale because then there's no problem.
I will win the Casino Battle Royale,
Beautiful.
just so you know.
And
That's why she's here.
So we're obviously going to be the next people to wrestle for the belt.
Right.
well, there you have it. Darby Allin.
Clean sweep.
You are no stranger to big-time matches here in AEW, but the eyes of the pro wrestling world, the entire pro wrestling world, are going to be on you and CM Punk tomorrow night. How are you feeling headed into All Out?
You know, I feel like I got a lot to prove. I know there's going to be a lot of new eyes on AEW, and I'm not stupid. I know that the whole world will be watching tomorrow night. And a lot of people may not know who Darby Allin is, and I've said it weeks ago. After this match with CM Punk tomorrow, the whole world will know exactly who I am. And people have never seen what I'm willing to do. They're going to see something very, very special tomorrow night. I guarantee it. I guarantee it.
Darby, you have a never say die type of attitude in the ring. Like, where did that develop from? Because, I mean, I'm no offense, you're not the biggest guy in the world, but I don't know if I've seen a guy attack like he's the biggest guy in the room. Where did that come from?
It comes from not giving a shit about my body.
Wow.
It's very simple. I do not care. No one in AEW is willing to go where I'm willing to go. And I guarantee you, I'm not just saying that, I mean that. I am not afraid of anything. Like, whatever you put in front of me, in the ring or outside of the ring, what's the worst can happen? I get knocked the fuck out? Like, I don't care. Like, I don't, whatever. I'll just go there tomorrow night and I'm gonna kill it.
Well, if the man does not care for his body, imagine how he feels about the other guy's body. Jeez.
Well, speaking of that, Darby, you were in a pretty physical match last night with Daniel Garcia on Rampage. CM Punk has been out of the ring for 7 years. I mean, his conditioning, he said it himself. He's worried about that. What is your condition going into tomorrow night physically?
Just skateboarding. That's all I've been doing is skateboarding, and that's it.
Well, Christian, you're no stranger to long layoffs from the ring, and your turn to the ring, we saw on Dynamite, you faced Frankie Kazarian, and Frankie told me after the fact that it was kind of an eye-opening experience getting back in there for the first time after 7 years.
Frankie told you that?
He said actually at one point he whispered to you, he's like, how's it feel, or something like that, and you just went, ugh.
I mean, listen. Being off for 7 years, there's you hope, and I kind of had a taste of it before that, where I'd gotten into obviously the Royal Rumble, and that's different than going in and having a singles match against a one-on-one with an opponent. So, I don't know. I was put on earth to do this. I'm a professional wrestler. I'll always be a professional wrestler, no matter what, and that's my home in between those ropes. So the moment I stepped back in there, it was like going home, and it felt like
riding a bike.
Like riding a bike. It felt like I never left. So I don't know.
Excalibur, can I interject something,
yeah.
please? There's no treadmills or stationary bikes or ellipticals in the ring. When you step through those ropes, it's a balance of pacing yourself and, like Darby said, not giving a damn. If you need a breath, knock them down so you can get one, and put them in a hold where you can get one. Put them in a position where the pressure is on them and not on you. Like, cardio is overrated. It's a thought process. It's a mentality, and I see Darby go in the ring and put his body on the line every night. A lot of the stuff that he do is not based on how many reps you got in the gym. It's a level of just mental toughness.
Can I offer a counterpoint, Mark?
Yes, sir.
CM Punk has said that he is concerned about his cardio. He's concerned about his conditioning. There's maybe nobody quicker inside the ring than Darby Allin. If he can run circles around Punk, he can blow him up.
That's a good point, but Christian said it first. He was like, everybody got a plan till they get hit.
Well, Darby didn't actually say that was his plan. That's just my announcer brain. Darby, I'm sure, has something in mind, or perhaps completely nothing in mind and just going to go by feel.
Well, Christian just said that, it was like riding a bike. And I do believe that if somebody walked up and slapped the hell out of me, I haven't punched anybody in probably 5 or 6 years. But if part 2 of my killing spree will start.
You're a sweaty man, Mark. You're a sweaty man.
Listen, I sweat all the time. My room is 60 degrees. You can hang meat in my room.
Darby, I know you're not going to tip your hand, but do you have a plan headed into tomorrow night? Or are you just going to wing it?
No, I don't got a plan, but no plan at all.
Okay.
Plan is to not, besides lose, that's no shit. But the plan is to maybe not get so reckless with myself out there. Maybe I just need to wrestle circles around CM Punk and not do something really risky.
I'm sorry, I'm just stepping on you. Do you feel like a lot of times people over-respect veterans? Because I'm hearing that, I haven't been around a crop of talent that's this young before. And I've heard people say, I think that there's too much praise and how you doing, sir, going on. Like, you're not going to go into that ring with that kind of respect for him, are you?
It's a privilege to step in the ring with him, but it ain't a privilege to lose. I'm grateful for any opportunity I get to wrestle anybody, but I'm not here to kiss anyone's fucking ass or anything like that. This is a business, and I'm treating it like that. I'm not a fanboy. I'm not like all these young guys that see these veterans come like, geez, mister, can I have an autograph? Who the hell takes pictures with this guy? We work with him. You take pictures with him.
I did.
I'm not here to meet and greet my people. I'm here to fight them, and I'm here to win. This isn't a fan fest with me. This is a business. So I'm going to keep it like that. It's not, like I said, it's not an honor to step in the ring with him and lose. I got to win this.
Wow. So. Respect.
Yeah. Start treating it like you belong in the top spot with all these young guys, and then quit looking like there's some pie in the sky. Like, oh my God, there he is. I'm like, dude, get on his level. That's all I got to say.
Word.
So.
Real talk.
Well, Britt, it was announced on Dynamite that you signed a long-term contract extension with AEW. And obviously, you're the AEW Women's World Champion. You're not going anywhere. But really, what made you want to commit to AEW long-term?
Well, I'm not going anywhere, and this isn't going anywhere either, first off. But I really feel like AEW is my home. I think that the DMD wouldn't be anything if I wasn't here, if I didn't have the resources to grow as a wrestler, as a performer. And I just think that there's nowhere else I want to be because of the success that this company has given me.
Well, we know who's paying for dinner tonight. Got that money long as train smoke.
And Jamie, after returning to AEW after such a long layoff, the landscape, the roster has changed quite a bit since you were last here. Who are you looking forward to facing? Who are you looking forward to matching up against on the roster?
Absolutely everybody. There isn't one person I don't want to kick the shit out of.
Hey, with that accent, she made it sound beautiful, too. Kick the shit out of.
Well, I think we're going to open it up to audience Q&A. And there is
there he is.
microphone right
Let's
there
give him
in
a
the center.
mic man.
And we're going to have people line up, we're going to have everybody, if you want to line up and get into the center and
Do this Maury Povich style.
yeah, ask
you
Q&A
know,
of the panel.
stand behind. Oh, yeah, I knew she was going to ask a question. She used to be a
So
babe.
this question is for Mark. I mean, we were talking about a lot of people who have been away from the ring coming back in. Should we expect to see you back at any point soon?
Oh, man, I'd love to, but my back hurts. And if somebody hits me, I'm calling the police. So if you would like to, spend the time in a little small cell, then come hit me. No, thank you.
Yes, this question is for Christian Cage. After you actually beat Kenny Omega for the AEW World Championship, will you go after the Mega Championship next?
I don't know. My focus is on AEW and becoming the AEW World Champion. So I'm sure that once I win that, I have to focus there. But no, I mean, I'm not really interested in that title, to be honest with you.
Hi everybody. So this question is kind of for all of you. You guys will be on the biggest pay-per-view for AEW. You all have huge matches. Does that add pressure at all to your match, how you're going into AEW All Out?
I mean, there's always pressure, and I mean, with what we do, there's pressure every second, and it's how you deal with it, how you channel the pressure. Some people step up under pressure, and some people wilt. And I think that when you're at the top of your game, like everybody here is, you deal with pressure well, and when the more that's at stake, the more pressure there is, the better you perform.
Britt?
Yeah, I think there's pressure when there was 5 people in the crowd during the pandemic, and there's pressure when the stadium's full and there's millions of people watching. But that's why we're here. We thrive off that pressure, that anxiety. It's like a drug. And when you walk out there and you hear the crowd booing, cheering, it makes everything worth it.
Darby, tomorrow you're going to be pretty much on enemy turf. Does that add anything to it? Is there even more pressure?
Who, me? Enemy turf? Yeah, this guy loves me. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, to be honest, though, I'm so antisocial as it is. I don't give a damn who they cheer for. I'll get tunnel vision when I'm out there and I'm ready to rock. I'm not really a people's person, but thanks for liking me, but I'm not a cheerleader. I don't want you to like me, but it just so happens you like me, cool. But if you don't, I don't need the support, I'll just go out there. When the bell rings, I'll get tunnel vision because this is what I live for, so.
Wow. Nice question, Izzy.
Question for Darby. How's Sting factoring into getting you ready for CM Punk?
He has been by my side since he's arrived, essentially in AEW, but he's told everybody he's just going to stay in the back for this one. He doesn't want to be out there. He doesn't want to be my cheerleader. He wants me to do it by myself. He thinks I'm ready. He knows I'm ready. So he's going to walk me out to the ring, and that's as far as it goes tomorrow night, because then he's going to walk right back. So.
How's everyone doing today? Question for Christian. How worried are you about, Kenny Omega's posse during your match?
How worried am I about what?
About his posse.
Kenny Omega's posse. How worried are you about
I don't know. I think they have their hands
His
full.
grove of
I'm not
goose.
worried about it, to be honest with you. I mean, it didn't help him when I beat him for the Impact World Championship, so it's not going to help him this time either.
Freeze!
This question's for Britt. I think I speak for all of us here when I say I don't see Chris not kicking out of a move or tapping. She's undefeated, so how do you plan to beat her?
She's undefeated, but she hasn't wrestled the women's world champion. I'm a different The last time I wrestled Chris Statlander, that girl's dead. That Britt does not even exist. I told you guys, this is the era of the DMD. There's nothing that she can do to beat me because I won't let it happen.
Don't get hot. Man, look like you playing favorites.
This question is also for Britt. Is there anybody outside of AEW women-wise that you'd like to wrestle, and if so, who?
Deonna Purrazzo.
Title for title.
This question is actually for Mrs. Hayter. On the AEW Women's Battle Royal tomorrow, I'm wondering, you're very confident about winning, but is there anyone possibly that you might be scared of that maybe might make you see red?
Scared of?
That might.
What?
Go to the back.
No, I'm not even asking. That's
Hey,
a stupid ass question.
Stand there, take this. Don't
Go
run,
back.
man.
Do you know what? Leave
Security,
the building.
security.
Get out.
I hope boy took off running, man.
Come on, scared? Are you joking?
Oh my God, that's great.
That guy was an idiot, wasn't he?
I ain't never seen a dude run from a girl like that. That's so good. Girls over with me.
So this is for all of you. Who is someone from outside of AEW that you would love to face, like 100% would love to work with?
I personally don't care. Like, I don't. If you're not an AEW, I don't want to fight you. It's like, this is my top priority. Like, I don't care. So, come to AEW, then we'll talk. Otherwise, screw off.
Britt, I believe, already gave her answer.
Oh, I have to give an answer?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, actually,
I
you can
don't-
let Jamie do it.
Who would you like to see me face? Who?
I mean,
I don't even know who that is.
answered my question already, and it's someone named Edge.
Ooh.
I don't see that happen anytime soon.
I don't know. The Forbidden Door gets pretty crazy.
Might be. This one's for Christian and maybe Mark can answer. You guys have been in the other company, but now being part of AEW, what has been the best thing about working for this company and the locker room that you maybe haven't experienced before at the other place?
Yeah, I mean, it's like I came here for a reason. Like I chose to come to AEW. I had options, but I chose to come to AEW. So to me, it was just exciting. I just saw the upward trajectory of the company. I was intrigued by the young talent that's here, and I felt like it was a gift for me to get this, to get my career back, to have the opportunity to close this chapter out on my own terms, and where I was going to get the best opportunity to do that on the stage and the level that I know that I hold myself to. I hold myself to a very high standard in that ring, and I felt that, and especially after having conversations with Tony Khan, there was no doubt this was the place that was going to give me everything that I needed.
It's pretty much the same for me. I wasn't fired. I wasn't let go. I left because I wanted to do things more in the communities that I served in. I knew that I'm an older guy. I didn't want to wrestle anymore. I wanted to help, and I was not given the opportunity to do so. So I said that I was going to go where I could be helpful. And there's a lot of things that I know I'm good at that I feel like is a blessing for the younger people. The emphasis is on them. My day is done. So I want the
You're
future.
done. Finished.
It's over. Put him out the pasture. Shoot him. No, I'm just saying. I'm a clown. I'm sorry. But the whole point is that the business has got to go on. Like, you can't stop at the guys that used to be good. You got to build up the future, and that's something that was real important to me, and I wanted to be a help to that. And Tony, if you, like I said, you talk to Tony one time, and Tony is about building, and I wanted to help build.
If I could say one thing about that, and speaking for myself, Darby, Britt, and even Jamie, I mean, we've been around AEW since 2019, and to have all of this veteran talent come on board it has been amazing to see how open and how willing to work with people like Christian, people like Mark, just everybody, Arn Anderson, Tully Blanchard, how eager they are to work with young talent and really build not just AEW, but build the next generation of pro wrestling. And it has been an absolute honor to watch that unfold before my eyes.
Thanks, man. And I got to say, too, for a personal standpoint, like, Jungle Boy was somebody that I had singled out before I even came to AEW. Before I met him when he was a kid, but I hadn't obviously talked to him.
He's still a kid.
Seen him in years. But for me, like, I look at him and the untapped potential that he has. He has every tool to be the face of this company at some point in time. And if I can help and be a small part of helping him get there, then that's also part of the reason that I'm here.
This is for Britt Baker and Jamie Hayter. Last week, the NWA hosted Empower. I was wanting to know, when will AEW do something like that? Because I would pay really good money to see a pay-per-view like that.
I think it's great what they did, and all women's pay-per-view is awesome, but I think women main eventing the men's show is equally as empowering. So I'm going to stick to doing that.
It's a good question.
This is for everybody. What makes this city so big for you to hold this kind of event here? And why is this important to you, like this city?
I came for the pizza.
Me too. It's very good.
I said this earlier if anyone was here, but for me personally, like, this brings back to the roots of All In when I was a part of that show, which was really special. And I think we've just, it grew from there. Each pay-per-view got bigger and bigger. The crowds got bigger. The shows got bigger. And now AEW is bigger. But it all kind of started from that spark of All In. And whereas Jacksonville is without a doubt our home, I always say Chicago's it feels like our home away from home.
Yeah, I mean, it's no secret Chicago is a wrestling town. And I mean, I remember being a kid and watching the first Survivor Series at the Rosemont Horizon. And I remember hearing that crowd, like, man, I need to wrestle in front of a crowd like that someday. I'm going to be a wrestler. And when I got into the business, and the first time I ever wrestled in the Allstate Arena, it's not the Allstate Arena, it'll always be the Rosemont Horizon to me, but the place, just the energy in that building and the acoustics and just the people, there's not a bad seat in the house. And it's still to this day my favorite arena to wrestle in. It just, there's nothing like experience. I've wrestled in Madison Square Garden, but it doesn't hold a candle to the Rosemont Horizon, in my opinion.
Mark, I love all the community outreach stuff that you're bringing to AEW. Right off the bat, you're making a huge change already. This is kind of for everybody. You spoke about this a little earlier about legends coming in. Can you speak a little bit more about how maybe this company views its legends and treats its legends? And maybe for Brittany and Jamie, Nyla Rose has had Vicky Guerrero in her corner. Would you perhaps...
How did that work out? It's not very well.
So you just going to ask like 3 or 4 questions, huh?
Would you like to see any other
Get your shit in,
women
man.
mentors, maybe other backstage?
We don't need any mentors, thank you.
What was the first part? Oh, the legends, yeah.
You know what? I feel like we're doing what we're supposed to do. It's just like parents. I'm not saying that these are my kids or I'm putting them in a subservient role or anything. I'm saying that any parent that sees this kid and don't give them all the tools to win and push them in the back and kick them in the butt if you need to get them to do what they need to do and the right thing to do to be better at what their craft is, then you're doing a disservice. I don't want to be that dude.
Yeah, I mean, it also it takes stars to make stars, right?
Yeah.
And I mean, if you're flipping through the channel, a casual viewer that's not a hardcore wrestling fan, and they're happening to be flipping through the channels, I haven't seen wrestling for a while. Hey, is that Sting? I know Sting. I used to love Sting. But who's that guy he's with? That guy's badass. Look at him. He's throwing his body around the ring. And then now they know who Darby Allin is because they know who Sting was. Darby Allin is well on his way to being a big star, but Sting helps that happen a little bit faster.
And have you ever sharpened a knife? Iron sharpens iron. Like, if you want something to be sharp enough, you got to put something else that's right there that's the same.
So first off, right off the bat, thank you guys for coming over. Like as I told Christian earlier, 4 years ago when I had prom here, never have I ever thought where I would get the opportunity to meet legends like Christian Cage and you, Mark, as well as up-and-coming stars like Darby Allin. So one thing I want to ask is, really this is more towards for you, Mark. When you're looking out for new talent or you're recruiting, like what's the biggest thing you look for?
You know a star when you walk in a space and they captivate you, they have it. I always said that from the first minute I met Britt, I knew she was going to be a star because she's not fearful. No moment is too big for her. And there's about 20 people like that at AEW right now, and hopefully there'll be 40 by the next year. They just have to realize they're not doing nothing wrong. Be you. If I'm scouting talent, I want to go, who is that? I'm pointing over there metaphorically, so don't look over there. But I want to find out who that person is that's loud and obnoxious, or that everybody's just staring at, or that somebody goes, wow, that was pretty clever what he said. That's what I look for.
All right, this question's for all you guys. I've been excited about professional wrestling for I can't remember in how long right now. Where do you guys see AEW going in like the next 3 to 5 years with all the excitement that AEW is causing right now?
It's already here. It's the biggest thing in pro wrestling. There is not a $2,000 ticket nowhere else in America. There are tickets being sold for $2,000. So it's already here. You don't have to wait on it. You don't have to look for it. You ain't got to search, click, smoke signal, email. You ain't got to do nothing but turn on your social media and turn on TNT.
And I think the next step for AEW, and Tony Khan has said this himself, is to go internationally and to take AEW around the world to, places that have been watching us for the last almost 3 years, but haven't had a chance to experience AEW live. I mean, you guys, if you were at Dynamite, if you were at Rampage, or if you were in the United Center, you know that there's nothing quite like AEW live, and we want to be able to bring that around the world.
AEW is just now, this week, being shown live in Mexico.
That's right.
And it hadn't been so far. Now, we'll be able to have these live programs, and I can't wait till this COVID hell is over with so we can start traveling, go to UK, go to Mexico, go back to Canada.
My question's for all of you. Excalibur, you mentioned like the sort of the young nature of AEW being only 3 years old. For all of you, what has been like the mind-blowing moment that you've experienced, either a match in the ring, something that you've seen, an event for each of you in this period since AEW began?
Darby, you want to take this?
I wasn't wrestling, but just being there a couple weeks ago in Chicago and knowing that I was going to be the first guy to be in there with Punk, like that was a moment that I was like, all right, like the energy, like nothing could match that. So.
And Darby, you had maybe the most unique seat in the house for that Punk thing.
Yeah, I was in the
be
rafters of Sting. It was pretty badass.
Britt, what do you think?
A moment that comes to mind is when fans were first coming back to Daly's Place in Jacksonville, and I was cutting a promo, and I finished it and did the DMD, and everyone did it with me, it had never happened before, and I had no intention of that happening. But it was just such a cool, like, an energy from our fans, and it was just like a relief, like, oh, they're back, thank God. Like, the heart and soul of our company is back.
Jamie, you had to kind of watch from afar, but now that you're back, does anything kind of jump out as particularly special to you?
I think for me, I think it was Punk coming back, him coming to AEW. Everyone was buzzing about it. Like these two just said, the energy, when you're there and you can feel it, it's just unreal. You can't describe it, but you just feel it inside you. And I know everyone else did when they were there, but that for me, like, stuck out. Because I was physically there, not watching from my television, and I wasn't at home in the UK or anything like that. So it was great to experience that, like, live.
Yeah, for me, I mean, talking about the United Center, it's recent history, but I mean, it was a pivotal moment in pro wrestling, and right before we went on air, we're sitting there at the desk, and JR literally patted me on the shoulder and he said, "You got this, kid." And it was such a huge vote of confidence, and Tony and Taz have really taught me so much, and for Jim fucking Ross to say, "You got this, kid," was mind-blowing. So.
Yeah. For me, yeah. For me personally, I think, kind of going off of what Britt was saying, like, there's an appreciation for the fans to be able to be back and watch what they love, and there's an appreciation on our side to be back in front of you doing it. So the crowds have been unbelievable, just crazy. And like in Pittsburgh, when Kenny and I were standing across the ring from each other, I could just feel the energy in the crowd just rumbling. And then when I won in the roof blew off the place, I knew in that moment that I was without a doubt the most popular wrestler in Pittsburgh.
He had the second biggest pop of the night.
Nope. Go back and watch it.
What about Brittago?
What?
Thank you. My question's for Britt Baker. What type of match do you want with Thunder Rosa for your second one? Because I think I'm speaking for everybody here. Britt Thunder 2, Lights Out, was the best women's match, possibly the best match of all time. Mind you, the first one I ever watched through the commercial break. What type of match do you want for the second one? The third one to settle the score. 2 out of 3 falls, ladder match, tables, ladders, and chairs match. What match do you think would be appropriate for the final one?
You know she's taken, right? I know that look. Easy, brother, easy. Cool your center. You don't have no girlfriend.
Oh, you're a man.
I'm a heel.
We're here to make fans, not lose them, Mark.
Whatever match she wants, she can have, because I came out of that match, I think, a little different than she did. And I went through hell and back, and I'm here and still the AEW Women's Champion. So when it comes time, she's got to earn her title shot first. No one's just going to give it to her because she's Thunder Rosa and paints her face. Like, no offense. But
you paint your face too. Look at the makeup.
That's fair. But yeah, whatever whatever time, place, day, location, whatever she wants, when she gets her shot, she can have it. I welcome it with open arms.
Your time is up. Tell your story, Walter.
This is a question for Darby. Darby, it's been said that you're this generation CM Punk. I'm seeing the little kids run around with the face paint on, which is awesome. Do you feel that a victory tomorrow night is really the passing of the torch of this generation CM Punk?
Absolutely. But to be honest, I don't want to be this generation CM Punk. I want to be Darby Allin. That's all.
Right.
I don't really care. Like, I find a lot of inspiration from a guy like Punk growing up, and he said if he was 15 years old, Darby Allin would have been his favorite wrestler. But when I was 15, Punk was my favorite wrestler. Just his, burning bridges with people, speaking his mind. I love that stuff. I don't like ass kissers. So someone like him I really looked up to, but doesn't mean I want to be him. So.
Hey, brother, before you leave, man, the biggest thing that I've seen in my sporting career, whether it was strongman, powerlifting, weightlifting, wrestling, when people emulated me or when people paid tribute to me on how they wore their gear or whatever it was, I respected that. But I've also had those people try to beat me. And it didn't work out so well, but the honor of them coming to me and saying, damn it, man, I wanted to beat you. Like, you were my inspiration. That dude want to beat CM Punk. He don't want to be CM Punk. And I can't wait. Sorry, I didn't mean to try to break now. I get excited. But that's the match that I'm no disrespect, Doc. No disrespect. That's the match I want to see the most, and I want to see Darby win. And I've known Punk for years. His first day, I remember I was there. But I want to see Darby become the megastar that I think he's going to be.
Well, we are 24 hours away from the biggest event in AEW history. All Out, tomorrow night, live at the Now Arena on pay-per-view, Bleacher Report, Fight TV. If you can't join us tomorrow in the arena, I know you'll be watching at home. Tell a friend, tell somebody, make a new fan. Tell them that AEW is the future of professional wrestling. Thank you guys for coming out to FanFest. Have a great night.
Darby Allin! You're the first on the list. I'm going to help you because you're a daredevil and you like danger. Well, Darby Allin, there's nothing you could do that is more dangerous than wrestling CM Punk. Except wrestling CM Punk in Chicago. I will see you, and I'll see Sting, and I'll see all of you September 5th at All Out.